for Special Forces Ultimate Hell Week. Starts tonight at 9 on BBC Two.
Yeah, here's a phrase you don't hear often. I don't think you're cold enough. In the water. A team of Brits are going through hell in an hour. But first on BBC Two, these entrepreneurs are feeling the heat.
Wealthy, astute, innovative, fearless, and shrewd. These are the dragons. The fire continues to burn in the den. Together with formidable business giants Peter Jones and Deborah Meaden, are global fashion tycoon with over 40 years retail experience, Tuka Suleiman. The woman who turned her passion for food and drink into a multi-million-pound business empire, Sarah Willingham. And the man who sold his online greetings card business for £120 million, Nick Jenkins. For entrepreneurs, it's the toughest business pitch of their lives. Do they have what it takes to face the dragons? Welcome to Dragon's Den. Once again, nervous entrepreneurs are waiting for their chance to persuade some of Britain's best-known business brains that they've come up with the next big thing. But it isn't easy to win an investment because, as always, it's the dragon's own money that's at stake. Coming up.
I can't understand the mechanics of the business without you being able to. Either of you know more about those numbers?
Oh, sorry, oh, God. Oh, God.
The one in the dish is the hot sauce.
The one in the dish?
No,
The one in the
tell
dish.
me. Yeah, don't anybody have a spoonful of hot sauce.
I need to take a deep breath. Just to be clear, was that £2 million?
£2 million.
I'll make you a counter offer.
I don't want to start at 40.
Wow.
Can I ask why?
You make me feel like you're taking me for a ride, thinking this is worth £1 million today. Because it isn't.
First into the den is a former banker who swaps his life in the glass towers of the city to pursue a dream deep below the streets of London. So, can he convince the dragons he hasn't dug himself into a financial hole?
I was cycling from Clapham to Canary Wharf and I saw an old map of London's disused stations and I fell in love with it. I realised right then and there that this was opportunity. In fact, I said that I wouldn't stop this until I was dead or the Prime Minister had said no. Hello, Dragons. My name is Ajit Chambers. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of the Old London Underground Company. I have invested 5 years in getting my company in the position to open the first tourist adventure into a disused London tube station. And the station that I'm talking about is Down Street in Mayfair. We're putting 3 businesses into this site. The first business is the experiential tourist adventure. If you can imagine, we're recreating what happens during the Second World War, where families have to disappear from their houses and run and hide in these sites as the bombs are coming down. The tourists that come in really feel the fear and the noises outside and the smells of the old station. The second business is an events business. Some of these deep drop empty shaft areas are fabulous to put in small events and have just a little crowd of people in there for the launch of a CD or a product itself. And the third business is a food and beverage area. So you can see the picture here. I'm here today to offer a shareholding of 51% of the Old London Underground Company in exchange for £2 million.
an attention-grabbing end to Ajit Chambers' pitch. He's offering an unusually large 51% share of his old London Underground company, but in return for a staggering £2 million investment. Peter Jones is first to scratch beneath the surface of the deal on offer.
I need to take a deep breath. Ajit, you left that right to the end. 51%. And just to be clear, was that £2 million?
£2 million.
That's a lot of money, isn't it?
It is a lot of money.
Is that what it's going to cost to do all of this work?
The capital expenditure on the site is £1,600,000. I've left £240,000 for pre-operations and an extra 200 slippage to bring it up to £2 million.
You're offering 51%?
Yes, true.
And who gets the 49%, the balance? Where's that?
I own the 49% at the moment.
Can I ask what you do for a living?
Yes, of course. Well, I spent 5 years completely on this. Before that, I used to work in banking in Switzerland and London.
I just want to know how much money have you made and how much money could you put into this?
I like questions like that. I've spent my own money on this, roughly £160,000 over 5 years and 4 months.
And how much money have you got yourself personally?
Left?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
So not a few £100,000, for example?
I did sell my house recently to fund the last parts of this.
Were you in a position to sell your house? I mean, have you got loads of other assets and...
Nope, that's it.
So you have literally put everything on the line?
Yes.
Taking major risks in business is in the Dragon's DNA. But an entrepreneur who's given up their home for the sake of the business can ring alarm bells in the den. Tuka Suleiman wants to know if there's a plan B.
Ajit, Tuka.
Hi, Tuka, how are you?
I know one thing, Ajit.
Yes.
If you don't get the money from us, and you don't get the money at all...
Yes.
What are you going to do?
I'm sure someone else will be interested in taking this site.
So why have you come to us?
I would like a set of individuals to partner with me.
I tell you what, give me 10%, and I'll give you all the advice you want.
The part of the guidance and the advice is not something I need at this point. I mean, one of the beauties of this project is that we've done all that work. What I need is an investor who will let us get on with this.
Has the news that the entrepreneur is only interested in Dragon Capital and not necessarily their business insight caused some disgruntlement in the den? An undeterred Nick Jenkins isn't holding back with a key concern about the size of the venue.
Ajit, can you tell me how many square feet that is, the tourist attraction?
1,800 square feet there.
1,800 square feet?
Yes.
I'm slightly aghast now, because you don't get many tourists in 1,800 feet.
Let me run through the numbers with you.
Yeah.
We're looking at 10 tours of 16 people per day, so it's a very low number that are going through there. We're also looking at making it a low cost for the ticket, which is £18. So it's turning over £2,887 per day. Now, the events, we've put in the business plan that we'd have one event a month at £10,000 an event, which will make £120,000 with the events. And then we're looking at the above ground section here, which brings in £288,000. So when you add the three business streams together, the net profit at the end of year one is 1.16 million. But the real point of coming here today is that we're at the design point. We've got the team to deliver it. The only thing we're missing is the investor.
I completely agree that there is massive scope to use these sites. Personally, I don't buy into the tourist adventure down there. I don't buy into the events, and you've just basically got a random outlet at the top. If I took a site that was central London that I was going to spend £2 million on, I'd want a lot more than just over £1 million turnover a year out of it.
Can I go into the detail with the turnover?
Well, we've already had the turnover. It comes from 10 times 16 people a day coming through the experience. Very, very low turnover.
Let me just be clear with the capacity.
It's so
That's
small.
a number we've set at a very low level. That's not our capacity.
Ajit, you've worked so hard on this for 5 years. I can see that. I just don't think you found the right thing. It's just not for me, love. I'm out.
The den's food and drink expert decides to hold on to her cash as she becomes the first dragon to walk away from the deal. Is Peter Jones prepared to stump up the £2 million to bankroll the business?
Are you not building the very experience that no one would ever want to experience anyway?
Well,
I mean, I don't think for 1 minute when those air raids were going off that people got very excited that they were going to go down into that area for 45 minutes. If I said to my child, I'm going to take you down to experience what your great-grandfather experienced in 1943, and you're going to be riddled with fear. I just see it as a pitch for cash, where we roll over the cash, where you walk up and have no risk. So I'm not getting the sense that you've got anything at risk apart from the last 4 years of your life. Well, those 4 years are gone by the time you've walked into here. This is now a future opportunity. I'm not going to invest and say that I'm out.
thank you very much.
My view is, it is very ambitious.
Okay.
I'm very concerned for your well-being. I believe 1.6 million will probably get 30% of it finished. You'll run out of funds.
Yep.
There'll be a lock on the door, right? And then it'll probably stay derelict for another 50 years.
Okay.
So I hope you have Plan B set up. On that basis, I must say, I'm out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ajit's bid for investment appears to be going off the rails. Can Deborah Meaden, who made her millions in the leisure industry, get his business dream back on track?
The issue for me is you are not looking for anybody to add value to you. You are looking for an investor. You don't want somebody who wants to be all over it. I would be all over it.
It's not that I don't want your input here.
Listen, maybe it was just the words, but you actually said, I just want your money. I'm not sure why I would ever walk into something like this that is halfway through, I've had absolutely no input in whatsoever, and just hand my cash over to somebody who's actually done the bit where I believe I can add value. You might find an investor, but you're not going to find an investor in somebody like me who's spent my life in tourism, because I know too much about this business.
It's extremely disappointing you would say that, because I would love to have you on board with something like this, with your experience.
Ajit, I actually don't think I'm the right investor for you. I know you think I am. I don't think I am.
Okay.
So I'm afraid I won't be.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm out.
Only Nick Jenkins is left. He's already raised concerns about the capacity of the venue. Now he wants to know about the agreement Ajit has in place with the owners of the site.
What about the lease?
We're in negotiations for a 2-year non-payment period.
And thereafter, what's the lease? How much?
£80,000 a year.
My concern is that actually, what do you really have if someone more credible comes in with a couple of million quid and says, actually, we'd like to take the lease? Could they do that? You don't own this opportunity.
True.
Yeah, that's the problem. You don't own this opportunity. You're selling something that you don't own.
No, of course
The opportunity is the opportunity to lease this place. That's up for grabs. Someone else could knock on the door and come up with another idea like this and do it.
True.
And then they'd own 100% of it.
True.
I'm not prepared to value it at £2 million. And for that reason, I'm out.
Okay, thank you very much.
Ajit reaches the end of the line in the den, with doubts being raised that he has exclusive access to his disused station. His bid for a £2 million investment goes down the tube.
The ability to sell something like this to a group of individuals that I'd like to have worked with is very difficult. And in reality, I didn't get that across. My pitch wasn't good enough. I simply move on to other investors. And there are very many of them, especially in that area of town.
Next into the den are Jenny McLaughlin and Lorraine Young. They've got a new solution to an age-old problem. But can they avoid being chewed up and spat out by the dragons?
Miller was an absolute nightmare teether. He would literally bite me. Then I had that light bulb moment.
That's us.
The business is so important to me. I think I'm pretty petrified about taking our baby in to see the 5 dragons. I don't think I have ever felt nerves like it.